For all my Japanese viewers out there, Mayaku wa yarimasen. No, we're frio though. Konnichiwa, o genki desu ka? Brad, have you ever realized that as you get older, time seems to be just flying by at unimaginable speeds? You ever notice that?
All the time.
Don't you feel like as you get older, like the years just seem to slip away? Didn't you guys ever feel like time was passed by? What?
Saw, dude. Saw.
Oh my god. I gotta get him the hell off my video. Did you ever guys realize when you were like kids, time used to pass by so slowly and the next day seemed to take forever? When you would go to outings with your families or your friends, the nights would never end. You remember those days?
Yeah.
And now it's like every day just flies by. The weeks zoom by, the years zoom by. We finished high school 2 years ago, and it feels like it's been last week. Bradley, you want to talk about that a little bit?
No, it's gonna make me want to kill myself.
It's gonna make him jump off that bridge. He gets a little emotional when it comes to high school.
No.
But anyways, today I want to talk to you guys about time, because time is a very interesting topic, and people really, you know, they fixate on time. Time is like a very important aspect of our lives. But what's interesting is that time doesn't exist, my friends. Time is a relative quantity, and it doesn't have a fixed value. And today I would like to explain to you guys why, in a very simple way, why time feels like it goes by faster and faster as you get older. Now don't worry, I won't use any crazy formulas to confuse you. This is going to be very, very simple. If you've taken basic math, like grade 5 math, you should be okay. Yeah, have you taken grade 5 math?
I guess. I mean, I passed high school.
You sure about that? I spelled it fucking wrong again.
Again, bro.
Oh my god.
Time 101.
Alright guys, so here we go. Now, we start with a simple fraction. In case you guys don't remember, let me give you a little refresh. So, you have the top value, which is the numerator, and the bottom number, which is the denominator. So,
What's a denominator?
well, you have a number on top, and what's under it is what you divide it by. But this whole fraction represents something, right? So, in our little example here, the numerator, okay, is going to represent 1 year. So the value of 1 year, right? So let's write 1. All right, cool. Now, the denominator represents your age. So numerator is 1 year, and the denominator will be your age. So let's say you're a baby of 1 year old. So your age. So this fraction basically, what it basically means is it's the value that 1 year holds compared to your entire life. So if you're 1 year old, then the value of 1 year represents your entire life, because as you guys probably know, 1 over 1 equals 1 whole. So 1 year is basically your entire life at the age of 1 year old. Let's say you're 2 years old now, you've grown 1 year. So if we do the same exact fraction, you have 1 year over 2, right? So you're 2 years old, and this is the value, this is 1 year, and now the value of 1 year compared to your whole life is 1/2. That makes sense, right? 1 year is now half your life. So now let's bring it a step forward. I'm 18 years old, so if you take 1 year and you put it over 18, now that same fraction that we started with that went from being 1 whole to being 1/2 is now 1/18. So what does that mean? That means that 1 year now represents 1/18 of your entire life.
What the hell are you doing to Mr. Piggy?
Don't worry about it, Piggy.
No, I just fucking summoned him. Christ.
So guys, basically, let's say you're 80 years old, right? So this fraction has now been reduced to be only 1 over 80. It went from being 1 to being 1/80th. So imagine when you're a 1-year-old baby, 1 whole year feels like your whole life. Your whole life is 1 year. But when you're 80, 1 year is only 1/80th of your entire life. You understand? So that means that the older you get, the smaller 1 year, the value, fuck Jesus Christ, basically the value of 1 year becomes so small as you get older. So when you're 80 years old, 1 year only represents 1/80th of your entire life. So you guys think, well, yeah, duh, that makes perfect sense. But you see, let's say we graph this thing now, right? So we have a graph right here, X and Y, and the Y-axis represents time. Sorry, the X-axis represents time. Wait a second. The X-axis represents your age, and the Y-axis represents this fraction. So you have basically 1 year over your age, right? So it's 1 over X. Now, if you were to graph this function from, let's say, 1 years old, starting here, to 80, this graph would look something like this. And literally speaking, the area that's under this graph represents what 1 year is compared to your age. So let's say we take this axis here and we split it in half. So that's 40 years old, right? So this is what you experience. Your whole life experience is this area from 1 to 40. And then this life experience is the same from 40 to 80. But if you look at it, which one looks bigger? Brad?
My brain hurts. I think it's the left.
So, obviously it's the left. Look how much more area is here compared to how much area there is here. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but once you pass the age of 40, and even before, once you pass the age of 20, this area gets very, very small. Now my drawing isn't really the best, but what that basically means is around the age of 20 years old, give or take 3 years, you have experienced half your life. Da, da, da. So to put it a little better, if you have this scale and you have all the fractions from 1 to 1/2 to 1/3 to, let's say, 1 over 20, and then 1 over 25 to 1 over 30, and then you extend this all the way to 1 over 80. If you add up all of these fractions here, up into, let's say, 1 over 25, right? You add all these fractions up. The worth of these fractions will be the same as adding up all of the rest of the fractions of your life. So that means that if you add up the fractions from 1 to, let's say, 1 over 20, they are half of the rest of the fractions. So there have been studies where they have asked, let's say, this is given that the average lifespan is 80 years old. But since it's an exponent, what is this fucking function called? Since it's an inverse function, it doesn't really matter. But if you add up, so like I said, so there have been studies that have been conducted where they asked 80-year-olds to recall the middle of their life. Now, a normal person would think that they're going to recall their 40s, right? Which is like around here. Well, this isn't to scale, but you know what I'm talking about. Half of 80 is 40. But in reality, what they remember is their 20s, their early 20s. Because we have just proved mathematically that the actual half of their life is in their 20s. So what do you think about that, Brad?
Oh my. Mr. Piggy.
Pretty heavy stuff, boys and girls. So... No, Brad. Brad, don't do it, Brad, don't do it. It's
My
okay.
God, I'm gonna jump.
You're not dead yet, Brad.
Don't let go, Jack. Don't let go.
You couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this week's video, guys. So if you like what you see, tune in next time. So like, comment, subscribe.
My name's B-Rad.
Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I really appreciate all you guys' support. I just hit 50 subscribers, so thanks, guys. You're the best. Brad, any last words?
Don't jump off that bridge, guys. It's not worth it.
Don't jump off that bridge. Peace.